I think there's been an overreaction. I mean, he lost a five-set match to Djokovic. Granted, it was stunning in its way, given what had happened, what Yannick had after he'd run off that string of victories against Novak, starting with the Davis Cup at the end of 23 when he saved those three match points. And then, obviously a couple of times last year at the majors, and the matches had not been close. And sometimes Novak was hurting a bit. Regardless, it looked like it was becoming a bad matchup. But Novak played an extraordinary match and saved 16 out of 18 break points, which was the
Yeah.
key to him win. And it's not as if Sinner across those five sets played poorly by any means. I said, okay, he lost to a 10-time Australian Open champion who was deeply inspired to win that night. And then okay, the next tournament losing to Menchik, that was a bit of a surprise. But we know how good this kid is. I mean, we know how promising he is. And that one, I thought that Yannick was a little bit, uh, how should I say, a little disheveled
Okay.
by
Okay.
his standards. I didn't like the way he played that match, but he's entitled to one performance like that. Let's just sit back and see what he does in Indian Wells and Miami before we call this some kind of a crisis. Because I think we just grew so accustomed, John, to him being in the finals of every tournament. And this was during a phase when Carlos wasn't always doing it until this last year. Carlos was more up and down, especially outside of the majors. But uh, I'm not too worried about Sinner bouncing back because those are two losses. Okay. I actually think he's going to be really up for this tournament, and I will be very surprised, frankly, if we don't see Sinner in the final of Indian Wells.